Welcome to Couple Crush. In this video, you're going to learn how I went about cutting the senator top and the trousers. In my previous video, you must have learned how to take accurate measurements on senator top, trousers or main pants, and you must have seen how I went step by step in cutting both the senator top and the men's pants. So in this video, I'm just going to go briefly, or call it a clip, on how I went about that. I started from the shoulder. I drew out the shoulder slants, then I cut it out as it is here in the video. Then after cutting out the shoulder slant, I went ahead and mark out an inch across the shoulder slant for the front. That's an inch away from this front. Sorry for that. After marking out an inch away, I folded over the back on the front. So after folding it over, I iron it to lay flat on it. Remember that this is optional. You may allow it depending on the fabric that you are using. So I had to trim out the neckline as I have done in the previous video on how to cut a senator top. Just check out the video on the channel, you'll see it. So I measured the estimated neck width and neck depth. So after that, I marked it out and I created a semicircle. After creating the semicircle, this is just call it an outline to see if what I really need is there. So I used a curved ruler to form that semicircle. So after forming the semicircle, I had to measure out first before cutting. Remember, this is one of the things that you have to do. Measure it to ensure that you have the accurate neckline. So I noticed that what I had there was 8.5 inches, in which that was far beyond what I needed. So I had to make another, adjust the neckline, and I got precisely what I wanted. Then I followed the second line, which gave me the precise measurement of what I needed. So after that, after cutting out the neckline, what I did there was to ensure that I have my accurate measurements at the shoulder. So I measured out the shoulder plus the allowance, as in sewing allowance. My shoulder, the shoulder that I'm working with is 8.5, that is into 2 is it, and I'll call it 17. Then I added half an inch for sewing allowance. Then I marked the armhole depth. Then I drew a line across. Then I placed my marks at 17 inches, 27, and the length of the outfit is 40 inches, while 2 inches for hemming allowance. Then I started from the waistline. I marked out my waistline, my chest. Well, what I had for the chest, I marked it out, and then for the hips, I had to mark it out. So please just go to the video that I uploaded earlier and you will understand everything, because I took time to explain whatever I did. So please just go to the video and watch. If possible, I'm going to drop a link in the description box. So I had to check the half of my armhole, then place a mark there. Then I took out half an inch from it, then make my armhole cuff. So after cuffing it out, I had to connect the line to the shoulder that way. Then for the back, I did not take it I did not bring it out by 0.5 inches. Instead, I just drew it across. That's for the front and for the back. Then I started cutting the back armhole first. I cut the back armhole, then follow my seam allowance. I cut out the body that way. Then that's for the slit. So I lifted the front part of the outfit and then trim out the armhole for the front only. Armhole for the front only. So that's what I did. Then that's what we have for the senator top. It's really simple and easy to go. And that's for the trousers. I had to mark out the lines, the hip lines. That's for the hem, the waistline. And for the waistline, I placed 10 inches since my hips is 40. So that's the same thing I did for the crotch line, 10 inches. So how you get this is 40 divided by 4, and that's give me 10 inches. Then I extended the crotch by 2 inches up and 2 inches above, and up and across. Then I use the curved ruler, not a very deep curve, that's a hip curve ruler. Then at the hemline, I marked out 1.5 inch. Then using a straight ruler, I connected the line to the hips. Then that's the same thing I did approximately. Just check out that video on how to cut a male pants or trousers. You will see it and you understand everything I did. So this is just a clip on what I did. So I had to cut out the fronts. Remember, I don't follow the slant line. After cutting out the back, that's when I'll cut out the slants. The reason being that I want the waistline to be a guide for cutting the back. So the raise of the lines, I followed it through. Then that is the front, and I place it over the back, and I drafted the back, cut the back out as usual. Please, there is a detailed video in the channel on how to cut the trousers, so follow it up. So this is just what I did for this crushing couples outfit. I cut everything out, and that's what I have at the end of the day. That's the back, and the other one is the front. So that's what I have for the front. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for more videos. Bye bye.